Okay, teachers, in this video, this will be a fairly lengthy video going over a lot of the features that you have in the gradebook section of RenWeb. So go ahead and log into RenWeb and you can click on Gradebook. The first thing we're going to do is you're going to select a class up in the top left corner. You'll scroll down. You'll just have access to the ones that you actually teach. So you'll pick one of your classes. Once Ms. Sharon sets everything up, you'll actually have all of your students listed. And some of the things to see that you can change from one class to another up at the top. The setup has usually pretty much always set up for us. Most classes use a mixed calculation in that we do kind of averages in each category, but then each category is weighted. So if you want to do something different, then either check with me or check with Miss Amy, and we'll kind of make sure that you've selected the right grade calculation method. But for the most part, most of us use a mixed grade calculation. And you can see some of the different things that you can change. The grading scale should already be in there. But if for some reason the way that it sets up the names in the gradebook is last name comma first name, but if you don't like to see them like that, you can pick from a number of different ways to see the information. Let's see, and whatever I had from one class I could copy to another class that I had right here. Our add edit category, the Miss Amy has it set up where our formative and summative categories are already there, and you can kind of see, let me stretch out this a little bit more to give you the information. Our formative counts as 15% of the grade in the subject, and the summative as of right now counts for 85% of the grade. Now depending on your grade level and your subject being taught, you can go ahead and change some of this information. Miss Amy would have given you that information to let you know how it would change. So if I would go to formative and then under category edit, if I wanted my formative to only be 10% of my grade, then I could change that on the weight right here. But remember that especially if you're doing weighted categories, that ultimately it needs to equal up to 100. So if you are in religion and you need to add service hours, or if you're in AR, reading, and you need to add AR, that remember you have to make those adjustments to the other categories so that in the end they all equal up to 100%. Once I'm in here, I can also add assignments. Now to add an assignment, I'm going to first select whatever category it goes under. So I'll go to formative, assignment, add, and then let's say if I just had pop quiz. Now whatever you put under the title abbreviation, I would keep very short. It's going to be just what appears at the top of your grade plan lesson book, kind of your own little code, but I would put more information under the description because that is what the parents will see when they go into RenWeb and they look at the grades. So the more information you have there, if I want to have pop quiz, chapter 1, lesson 1, then I can have all that information there. On the date assigned and date due, you could have different information for both of those. Most teachers just put the same information for both. Make sure that the information, whatever you're requiring of them, is going to be within the date range. Otherwise it won't let you record it. You can make your maximum points be whatever you would like it to be, and I can even copy this assignment to another class. Yes, you want to save. And that's pretty cool because it'll pull up all the other categories and stuff from all of your other classes. So if I wanted all of my other classes to have that assignment as a formative grade also on the first day of school, then I could select them, hold down the control key, select as many of my classes I'd like, click on OK, and then when I click over to another class, I can see if I go into formative, they've already got that assignment done, or it's in there ready to be recorded. If I decided that I didn't want to have an assignment, then I could go through edit and I would delete that assignment. Are you sure? Yes. And you can see it gets rid of it. But what it doesn't do is get rid of it in every other place that I had it. So each of those classes that had it, that I no longer wanted it, I would need to go back and delete that assignment. let's look at some of the other buttons at the top. Attendance is something you don't have to worry about. Attendance is taken care of in the office. Email, this is one way that you can hit email. If I click on it there and click on a message, it allows me to bring up some stuff, but we'll have another video about email specifically. Lesson plans, we had done a little video on lesson plans, but remember this is just how we accessed it. Report card allows us to add report card, some of the report card information. For those of you that are teaching junior high, we'll have a little more information when it comes time to printing progress reports. You can see we have a progress report tab here, and this is where you will be entering your conduct grade for progress reports. There's a whole separate video for that. And at the end of each quarter, citizenship is where junior high students are going to record their conduct grade. For lower elementary, you're going to record conduct grade under homeroom. But for upper elementary, for junior high, it'll be recorded under citizenship. Also, once I'm going through report card stuff, comments is a place where I can put information about students that I'd want to appear on their report card. And it's kind of difficult to show some of this without students actually being present. This would also be the place where you would type information if anybody is receiving modifications, 504 modifications. This would be where you would want to note it, so that way it's also on their report card. I also have class comments. So if I wanted to put something, a note to my entire class, I can put it under class comments. And that should appear for all of them. Doesn't seem to want to do it right now. We also have some codes, and you can see if you click on codes in the top right corner, it's going to have a list of the codes that are available. So like if I had my first student and I wanted to say that does not bring their textbook or materials to class, I will double click on it and it automatically populates in that person's place. If there was something that I wanted to have for, and you can see that I can put more than one code. If I wanted something for everybody, let's see, I'll go back to this and delete that. Let's say this class just really did a great job with AR. Then if I click on the comment and then click on fill, it'll fill it in for every single student, which makes it really nice if there's something that you want to have for everyone. Print grid is something that's pretty nice if you're one of those people that likes to have a paper copy, which is always a nice thing to have every once in a while, just in case. We've never had anything major happen with RenWeb where stuff was missing, but we have had occasions where somebody's entered a grade and for whatever reason it didn't record. So print grid is a nice way to just have a paper copy of whatever is in your gradebook. So if you click on print grid right up here, it gives you that option. Okay. Now we're going to go back. Let's see, we did a little bit with our categories, and we did our assignments. You'll notice that at the top right here there are several different things, and if I go to formative, it only shows me formative grades. If I go to summative, it only shows me summative grades. And if I go to summary, what it'll do is it'll show me grades, just the average in each category. But this little star one, the one with the little X, if I click on that one, it would open up more like a regular grade book. Like you would see every single one, and I believe it organizes them by date. So it would be like a very standard traditional grade book where all of your assignments would be put in there, each of them by date, and so you could see everything. One of the cool things about RenWeb is that as you're entering grades, that remember we said that if I had something, oh, didn't like it, I wasn't on the actual assignment, go to formative, go to my actual assignment. Yeah, it's not letting me work on stuff since I don't have students. But if I would put in a grade and then click and fill, like, you know, if there's a homework check you did or something that most people have gotten their points, then you just click in the first person, type in the score, click in fill and it'll automatically fill in for everyone. Again, remember, it's very important to save while you're working on these things. As you're working on your grade book, there are a few things to remember. I can put in some letter grades. Let's see, I'll pull up a grade book from the past. Alright, so here we go. Here's a grade book from last year, and you can see that I didn't have categories, but if I clicked under the X, it's going to show me every single one. Grades that appear in red are a failing grade, so it's kind of really nice to just see at a glance. If you have somebody that's kind of having a rough time, you can see quickly who it is and how they're doing. Also, there are several letters that you can put in when you're entering grades. If I put in the letter D, it stands for drop. An assignment will be excluded from the category when averaging for that student. An E for excuse. An assignment will be excluded from the category so it doesn't affect the student positively or negatively. P is for pending. An assignment will be excluded from the category for that until the grade is recorded. And then you could do an I for incomplete or an M for missing, and it will treat them generally as a 0 until the assignment is turned in. This is personally something that I like to do. I like to put in the M for missing and have it record as a 0. It tends to get the attention of the students and the parents, and I just remember that I really encourage I would do that more with the older students. Maybe with the younger students I'd put more of a pending sort of status on it, but for the older students it gets them more aware, because especially if they forget about it, it's nice that they know that this is how it could affect their grade if they never turn that assignment in. Again, just make sure you press save once you are finished. Let's see. Category. Alright, if I wanted to view a progress report for the students, the way that I would do that is from the gradebook main screen, click on summary right there, then double click on a student's name. So if I wanted to see what Aaron had been doing, and if I double click on his name, it is going to show me a progress report of Aaron. So I see every single assignment. Remember, we were talking about how the descriptions were could be longer for the parents, so you can see how it does give the abbreviation right at the beginning, but then it gives the rest of it, the description. So if T speed, I knew what that was, but the parents would need to know that was typing initial speed test. Okay, so you can see all of the information that they have for that, and you could do it student by student, as many as you like.